Greetings. I welcome you all to this interesting lesson. It's a short lesson in that we are going to revise through the surprise test that I gave you. So I just want us to revise through that week and see, even as we get to gain more information or knowledge. So this is what I want you to do. These are certain things that I want us to understand. So the question is saying, so we are given question 1. That I guess these questions, you've written them down in your book. So I guess these are already written down in your book. See? And you are revising with me. The question is saying, a 4-ohm DVD. So you are given a question to say, a 4-ohm DVD. So a 4-ohm DVD and a 6-ohm shaving machine. So this is what we are given. 6-ohm shaving 6-ohm shaving machine. And we are also given a 12-ohm. So we are also given a 12-ohm a 12-ohm radio caster, which are connected in are connected in parallel across the across the 24 volts supply. That is a question. So you are given, this is resistor 1, resistor 2, resistor 3. And we are told to say that these resistors are connected in in parallel. The first question was telling us to say, draw a circuit diagram to represent this connection. So you are told that these ohms or these resistors, the resistor 1, resistor 2, the resistor 3, they are connected in in parallel. So how can we represent this? We can draw like this. We get to represent this using different ways. So I can do this. I'm going to put 24 volts here. The question is saying that across they are connected at the same time in parallel across 24 volts. So I do something like this. They are connected in parallel. So I'm going to say resistor 1, I put it here. A resistor 2, I'm going to put it here. Resistor 3, I'm going to put it there. So I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Then I put something like this. If I want, I can put an ammeter there that is recording a current. So this is a simple diagram. If I want, I can even put a switch, anything. As long as it is making sense, you just make it beautiful, So that is how it is supposed to be. So this is a simple diagram. I can say this is a 4-ohm DVD. So I just put 4 ohms. This one, I'll just say 6 ohms. This is like a shaving machine. And this one that is here, this is 12 ohms. So this is what you were supposed to do. So this is a simple circuit diagram to represent that connection. I guess you are following. You are with me. I haven't lost anyone. They are connected in They are connected in parallel. These ones are connected in in parallel. This is what we mean by parallel. The second question was saying, find now the total resistance in the circuit offered by all the 3 appliances. So they want us to find now, question A, we were just supposed to do it like this, where we have to draw the circuit diagram. Then when going to part B now, where you are told now to find the you are told to find the total resistance in the circuit. How can you find now the total resistance in the circuit? I told you to say that if resistors are more than 2, there is a particular formula that you need to use. We say 1 over total resistance, which is equal to 1 over resistor 1 plus 1 over resistor 2 plus 1 over resistor 3. This is the formula we are going to use. I've ended up to 3 because I'm having 3 resistors. This is a general formula, and this formula can be used on any question as long as you are told to find the total resistance. With this being said, we just substitute now. This 1 over total resistance, this is the formula. Don't say, why didn't they just put this one on top? This is the formula. We want to find the total resistance. We say this is equal to 1 over resistor 1. We've got, I can put 4 there, plus I've got 1 over resistor 2. I can put 6, plus 1 over resistor 3. I can put what? I can put a 12. So I can put a 12 here. Then I'll say 1 over total resistance is equal to what? So what I'm going to do, I get my calculator. So you need to get your calculator. This is my calculator. I put it here. Then I say, I find now this, like the answer for that expression, these fractions that are here. I just find one answer. So 1 over, I told you the over is here. Maybe some of you have already forgotten because I noticed we are making mistakes. This is a over. Have you seen? A, B slash C. Every calculator needs to have that. So that is a over. This one. Have you seen? It is here. This one. This one that is here. This is a over. So what I'm going to do, I say 1 over what? 4 plus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 12. What is the answer? The answer is 1 over 2. Have you seen? I'm getting what? 1 over 2. I've got people that get to use the other formulas that are complicated to the point that the formula you are using is also confusing yourself. So make sure if you use another formula, you are sure that this formula is accepted and this formula is legit. Not using formulas that are not legit. They are shortcuts, but those shortcuts have got conditions. They don't apply on every question. This one, don't forget what we want to find. We want to find the total resistance. Here, what do? You cross multiply. So 1 times 2, it is 2, which is equal to RT times 1. We find the RT, which is total resistance. Have you seen? So in this case, the total resistance is what? Is 2. So you are going to say, therefore, the total resistance is equal to what? 2 ohms. This is the total resistance. So that is what you need to do. That is the what? That is the total what? Total resistance in this particular circuit. So that is how we get to find that. I guess I haven't lost anyone. We are still together. So this is how you get to answer these particular questions. As simple as that. We now move to part, C. Well, let us now move to part C. We move now to part C. Part C is a beautiful question. The question is saying, calculate the current in each what? Appliance. So we are told to calculate now the current in each appliance. How can we now calculate the current in each appliance? For us to be able to calculate the current in each appliance, what we need to do or what we need to put into consideration is the what? Is the voltage. We need to understand the voltage and the current. Voltage and what? Voltage and current. We need to understand the relationship of voltage and current in parallel connections. Because if you don't understand, you get to face some challenges. So you need to understand that voltage is the same, but current is what? Is shared. This is what you need to understand. So in parallel connection, voltage is the same. So meaning that even here we've got 24 volts. Even here we've got what? 24 volts. Even here we've got 24 volts. But the current is shared. In other words, the current is different. So we need to apply now a specific formula. We need to say, okay, which formula are we going to use here? So I say, okay, the formula that I'm going to use, I say current is equal to voltage over resistance. This is a formula that is there. So I find the current at what? I'll say at 4 ohms. I start with 4 ohms. So 4 ohms, that one, the voltage is there. So I'll say current is equal to 24 over what? Over 4. 24 over 4, that is a 6. So it is what? 6 what? 6 amps. So at 4 ohm resistor, this is the current, 6 amps. I also find the current. So I'll say current at what? Current at 6 ohm. I'll say current is equal to voltage 24 over what? 6. What is the answer? The answer there, if I divide there, I'm getting a 4. So I say 4 amps. This is the what? This is the formula. This is the answer. So I now find the current. So I'll say, you say current at what? Current at 12 ohm. 12 ohms, or that 12 ohm resistor there. Same formula, current is equal to, so current is equal to voltage over resistance. Voltage, that is 24. Then what is the resistance? Resistance, that is 12. So 24 voltage, resistance 12. If we divide there, what answer are we getting? What is our answer? So current is therefore equal to 2 what? 2 amps. That is our formula. As simple as that. This is a particular what? Particular formula that we have to understand. Just like this. So you now conclude and say, nicely, you say the current in 12 ohm resistor is 2 amps. The current in 4 ohm resistor is 6 amps. The current in 6 ohm resistor is 4 amps or ampere. It is just one and the same. So we are done with the question. For you to answer everything here, you are given about 10 marks. So just everything that I've explained here, you are given 10 free marks. So you are given 10 free marks just to answer this particular question. This was question number 1. Question number 2, that was a chemistry question. So the surprise test that I gave you, question number 2, was under chemistry. So I guess we answered. Some of you that face some challenges, we are going to revise through. So the first part of the question was telling us to say, work out the relative formula. So the first question, this is question number 2. We now go to question number what? Question number 2. So I just want us to revise through this. Question number 2a was telling us to work out the relative. So it was saying that the relative formula what? The relative formula mass. This was the question. You were told to find the relative formula mass. When you just hear the word relative formula mass, relative molecular mass, you just know that when you answer, you are not supposed to include units. So it is a question that deals with no units. So you are not supposed to include the units. Units are not supposed to be included. So the first one was called what? Calcium hydrogen carbonate. So calcium hydrogen carbonate. That is written like this. This is the correct chemical formula. How can you find this? You start doing this. So this is oxygen. Have you seen? This 2 is applying for everything that is there. So there is already a 3. We don't add, we multiply 3 times 2. That is 6. 6 times, what is the mass number for oxygen? You check on your periodic table. I guess we all have periodic tables. That is a 16. I go to this one. This is what? This is carbon. So carbon, I say carbon, it is just having 1. 1 times a 2, that is 2. So 2 atoms times, what is the mass number for carbon? Carbon, mass number for carbon is what? Is 12. I go to hydrogen. How many? There is 1 there. Times 2, that is 2. Times Z. Mass number, that is 1. So I just need to do that. I go to calcium. Calcium, it is just standing alone there. So 1 times Z. Times mass number, that is 40. So I now add this. What answer am I going to get? You don't even need to stress. Just get your calculator. You just say, okay, I will say 6 times 16. What is the answer? 96. I say, okay, this is equal to what? 2 times 12, that is 24. I put my 24 there. This is 2. This is what? This is 40. So if I add everything there, what is the answer? 96 plus 24 plus 2 plus 40. What is the answer? 162. So I'm getting 160 what? 162. This is the answer. You are not supposed to include the units. So units are not supposed to be what? Included. You are not supposed to include the units. So units are not supposed to be included. We are done. The next one was called aluminium sulfate. So aluminium sulfate was like this. I guess you've seen how I've answered this one. Maybe someone is confused. Here there is a K1, here there is a K1. These are in brackets like this. So these two gets to be multiplied with what is there, what is there, what is there. So for oxygen, there is a 3. So 3 times 2, this is a 6. Here there is 1. 1 we don't show. This is the reason why where there is 1, I'm not even showing. Hope you've observed that. So that is the whole concept all about. That is 162. So like A is 162. We keep A is what? A, we found the answer. I mean part 1. We say the answer is 162. That is the answer. We now go to aluminium sulfate. Aluminium sulfate is like this. There is a 3 that is outside there. So meaning that here we go shortcut. This is 3 times 4 that is there, 12. So 12 times, that is 16. That is sulfur. Here there is a 1. We don't show a 1. So 1 times 3, that is 3 times mass number, 32. I go to aluminium. Aluminium there it is 2. It is not part of this, that K3 that is multiplying everything. This is standing on its own. It is having 2. Mass number is what? 27. Then we add there. So we multiply. What answer we get in there? So when we do our mathematics, we say 12 times 16. What is the answer? 192. So I'm getting 192 there. I say 3 times 32. What is the answer? The answer is 96. Then what is 2 times 27? What answer am I getting? The answer that I'm getting is what? Is 54. Then I add this. So I say 192 plus 96 plus 54. So I say 192 plus 96 plus 54. What is the answer? The answer is 342. That is the answer I'm getting. So for part 2, that is the answer. These are simple things. As long as you just follow the concept, you should not even struggle to answer them. You are given a question to say, when water containing dissolved calcium hydrogen carbonate is boiled, the calcium hydrogen carbonate decomposes according to the chemical equation. The chemical equation was like this. So we were given a chemical equation where we were given this one like this. So you are given calcium hydrogen carbonate like this. We've got a 2 there. When it decomposes, we've got calcium carbonate that is being formed. Plus we've got the water here. We've got water. We also have plus what? Calcium carbonate. I mean carbon dioxide. So this is an equation that we have. The first question was telling us to say, name the white solid formed in this reaction. People are facing challenges here, I noticed. Some of you, the question is saying name. The question is not saying write the chemical formula. The question is specifically telling you to say name the what? The solid. Give a name. What is the name? So the name of this solid is what? That is limestone. Have you seen? That is what? Name the white solid formed. That is what? Limestone. This is calcium carbonate, which is what? Limestone. So this is the name. The name is what? Limestone. Even those of you that were writing calcium what? Carbonate, I was marking. Because this is just the one and the same. Some of you were writing calcium carbonate. I was marking. I think you can bear with me. I was marking. So some of you were writing calcium carbonate. I was also marking because the chemical name for limestone is calcium carbonate. So this is what you have to understand. This is something beautiful that you have to know. We now move on to the next question. It is telling us to say that if the water board contained, if the water board, these are questions that I'm getting them from here. This is where I'm getting them. So these are questions that you are already having. The question is saying, if the water board at 16.25 of calcium hydrogen carbonate. So if the water board contain what? If water, so water is containing what? Water is containing, I'll say water is containing what? Water is containing 16.2 grams. So if water board contained, the water that is board contained what? Contained 16.25 of what? Calcium hydrogen carbonate. So I'll say of what? Calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is written like this. This is how it is written. Calcium hydrogen carbonate. This is how it is. I guess you are able to see it. Now, the question is, calculate the mass of calcium carbonate. Calculate the mass. We can use now the formula we get to call mass to mass. Have you seen mass to mass? You say, okay, let me use the formula called mass to mass. So mass to mass, I'll say, okay, this one is given. Have you seen? So this one is given. So what I get to do, I say, what is this one? So you are trying, okay, what if I do this? What is the mass for that one? This one that is here. The one, this one, calcium hydrogen carbonate. It is what? This one, we had to find it at first. It was giving us 162. So 162 grams. I equate it to the calcium carbonate now that I'm told to find in this question. The calcium carbonate there. What is the calcium carbonate? Here now, what you are going to do, quite all right, we know that since we want to find for this 162 we calculated for what? Calcium hydrogen carbonate. How about for this one, which is calcium carbonate? Okay, calcium carbonate, you also do the same. This is 40 plus, this is 12 plus, this is 48. This is 3 times 16, isn't it? Which is 48. So when you add everything here, you are going to get 100. So it's 100 grams. So here I put 100 what? Grams. For this one, I put what? This one is given in the question 16.2 grams. I now equate to what? X. For calcium, this is for what? Of what? Calcium carbonate. This one is for calcium hydrogen carbonate. We cross multiply. We've got different ways in which we can answer this. This is also another way you can answer it. We do what? Cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you are going to get 162x, which is equal to. How about this side? We are getting 16.2 times 100. What is the answer? 1620. You divide both sides by, we are getting 162. Even there we divide by 162. This and that will be cancelled so that we just have x, which is equal to, when you divide you get what? 10. So since that is the mass, 10 grams of what? Calcium carbonate. The method that I've used here is called mass to mass calculations. Those of you that were not there when I was doing the more concept, like I always tell you, don't worry. As long as you are here, you are going to be helped and you are going to understand everything. What I just want from you is your commitment and your attention. Just make sure that everything I'm teaching you now, you are able to understand them. So this was just a revision question where we were just revising through what we covered. So I just want you to know this and understand this. I guess you've gotten one or two things. So you are able to work out certain questions that will come in an exam. You are able to answer such questions. So this is where we end from. Thank you so much for your attention. See you in our next lesson. Thank you so much.